Welcome back. We have Lori Horton in the studio with us this morning, and she's here to teach us how to make some bourbon chocolate sugar cookies. Sounds delicious. They look wonderful.
You know, 'tis the season for some fun recipes. This one's maybe a little bit more for the adults.
Sure.
But as we remember, alcohol always bakes out, so that makes it perfectly fine. We've got a couple of kind of things we need to do to prepare before we really start mixing up this cookie dough. So the first one is we're going to make our sugar that we're going to roll the cookies in. So if you look at my finished ones over here, these have a really nice crackle coating to them. And what we're going to do that with is to actually use what is called a raw sugar or a turbinado sugar. And it's a big grain. You'll find it generally in a bigger box like this at the grocery store, but kind of near the regular sugar. We're going to do about a cup of this, and for this entire batch, I actually usually just make this a heavy cup because you need just a little more than that, just like a tall cup of that. So you're going to use quite a bit, and we're going to pour this into a container to keep it kind of tidy as we roll those balls of dough in there once we get all of that mixed up. But to make that really a little extra, we're going to add our adult beverage to that this morning. It's a little early to sample this, but
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, absolutely. It was 5 o'clock not that long ago. But we're going to add a few teaspoons of our bourbon, and you can go whatever your favorite is on this. As I said, it's going to bake out. So don't go for expensive, top shelf alcohol on this. You're just getting a little bit of the flavor. And if that's a problem, of course, you can always use a flavoring or an extract in its place. But honestly, the reason that we use alcohol in some of our recipes is to leave that flavor behind and let that alcohol, that liquid, evaporate out as it bakes. So we're just going to take that, and you can really smell that bourbon this morning. And we're just going to kind of soften up that sugar. It's going to look like wet sand. That's exactly what we're going for. So just let that set, and we're going to put that aside for a little bit because we want that to really soak in and to get that flavor.
For how long would you say?
Anytime I do this, I just do it first thing and set it aside while I do everything else. So it's probably 30 minutes to an hour. There's no set time it doesn't need, but I think kind of the more the better on this because you really get that flavor infused into the sugar. So the next thing that we're going to do is actually our last ingredient into the cookie batter, and that is going to be some semi-sweet chocolate. And these are the baking chocolate bars that you'll buy. They're not super yummy to just eat out of the package, but they're great when we bake with them. And I'm going to take about 2/3 of that package. It's a 4-ounce package. We want 3 ounces. And we're going to chop this up really finely so that it's small pieces. And that'll be our last ingredient in the cookie dough. When we come back, we're going to stack those ingredients. It's kind of important how we layer them into our dough as we mix it up. So we'll talk about that a little bit, and we'll get to our finished product.
Sounds like a plan. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. Laura Horton has been showing us her recipe for bourbon chocolate sugar cookies. Now we've prepped our sugar. What's the next few steps?
All right, we prepped our sugar. We chopped our semi-sweet baking chocolate, that kind of little bit bitter chocolate that you find when you bake. We're ready to start actually putting together our cookie dough now. So it's not an unusual recipe in our basic ingredients, but we've got just a couple things. It's going to make a really nice chocolatey, cocoa-y kind of a flavored sugar cookie, and then that little hint of bourbon in there. So I started already with my butter and shortening. So this is kind of one of those that's a little bit different. We add that shortening in there instead of just a straight butter base. And I'm a huge fan of those Crisco sticks when it comes to that. It makes it so much easier for measuring. Oh, so nice. So we've got those creamed together, and you do want to really give those a good mix so we make sure that they're fully incorporated. The next thing we want to do is stack our ingredients in a pretty specific order just to make sure everything does get mixed together well. And you're going to mix after every single ingredient. So kind of a little bit, we're going to make a little bit of noise here, but we're going to start with our sugars, and you can do the white sugar or the brown sugar. Now in my recipe, I always use a light brown sugar in this. If you like a little bit richer, taste to that, dark brown sugar is fine too. It's not going to substantially change that.
Okay.
But some people really love that with a chocolate, so that's fine too. Go for what your favorite is. But we're just going to give those a little mix after each one, just to get them kind of incorporated and get it creamy. We're going for a really nice smooth dough after every layer. And so we're going to add next an egg and 1 yolk. So again, not 2 full eggs, just the 1 egg and then the 1 yolk. Don't add that extra white. And just every time we're going to give it that mix just to kind of get everything blended. It's going to stay nicely incorporated. So you guys can see my batter on there.
Yes.
Every single ingredient that we add in there, it's staying really nice and creamy and just looking like a nice fluffy cookie dough. The next one we have up, we come back to our adult beverage part of the segment. Just a nice, inexpensive bourbon. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of that. And if that is of any concern to you, you can of course add a flavoring or an extract instead, but just keep in mind that of course all of the alcohol is going to evaporate as you bake these, so it's not going to leave any of that behind. It's just going to leave that flavor. So we're going to give that a little mix in there, and we can really smell that right off the bat. It's just going to be very distinctive. And then our next thing we're going to add is we're going to get to our dry ingredients.
Okay.
So this is where we want to make sure all of our wet things are nicely incorporated. We're adding a pretty good chunk of flour, and you may want to do this in a couple of rounds so that you don't make too much of a mess, or just have a nice big bowl so that you can kind of move that around. And you don't have to continue with your power mixer at this point. You can just do this by hand.
Okay, easy
We've
enough.
got our baking soda, salt, all of the standard things, and our cocoa powder. Once those are all mixed in, last thing will be our chocolate. When we come back, we'll add that crackle.
Sounds delicious. All right, thanks, Lori. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Lori is showing us last few steps for her bourbon chocolate sugar cookies. Now we've made our cookie dough. What's left, Lori?
All right, the last step is just to get that really pretty sugary crackle on the top that we're going to put on there before we bake. So we've got all of those ingredients fully incorporated together. We've got a really nice stiff dough. You can see that supports my spatula well, but it's not so stiff that you can't do those last steps by hand.
Perfect.
So don't burn out your hand mixer. It's not the time of year for that. Just go ahead and stir that last in with the spatula. So we've got our turbinado sugar, our raw sugar here, and that's that big crystal that we started with, and we added just a little bit, just a few teaspoons of bourbon to that to soak before we started all of this. It's been soaking for about an hour, so it should be nicely incorporated as well. I'm going to take kind of a small to medium sized cookie scoop there, and we're just going to pop a couple of balls of our cookie dough right in there. And then you just want to roll them in that sugar infused, that bourbon infused sugar. Get a little bit all the way around, almost like you would do if you're making a snickerdoodle, but with that bigger grain sugar. These don't rise a lot. They spread just a little bit. So you can probably put 8 on your regular cookie sheet. You don't want to give them too much space, but you don't need to pack them too closely together either. And we're going to pop those on for the typical 350 degrees. Now our recipe on there, when you go to check this out, hopefully later on koamnewsnow.com, you're going to find that list of ingredients in the order that you need to add them to your mixture. You're also going to notice that that says to bake for about 12 to 15 minutes. And that's really going to depend on the day. I baked these yesterday afternoon, and actually about 10 minutes was perfect. 10 minutes
was good enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's a little extra dry, if that weather is a little funky, don't be afraid to dial those baking temps back. You can always add more and leave them in for a little bit extra. But if you over bake them, you get that really firm bottom. And these should be a really light, crisp cookie with that crackle top.
It's kind of hard to see, like, if it's golden brown enough because of the chocolate and
the
raw
chocolate,
sugar.
it's very hard to gauge that. So what you're really going to see is when you pull those out of the oven to check, of course you're going to have a little bit of a crackle edge. You're still going to have a poof in the middle that will settle as they start to cool. and you'll lose that really, really shiny center that you start to see as they're about half done.
Okay.
So it is. I know with the chocolate cookie, it's always hard to tell. You know, you get those nice golden edges. It's easy when it's a regular sugar cookie, but this one does make it a little more of a challenge. I think it matters also whether or not you use a light aluminum pan versus a dark one. I always prefer those light colored ones. They tend to bake a little more evenly, and you don't get as dark of a bottom to your cookie with that because they just don't conduct quite as much heat. So use your favorites. Parchment liner as usual, because that makes them a little bit easier for the cleanup, which we're all a big fan of. These are great for cookie exchanges, for those teacher gifts, you know, quick and easy, and this makes about 3 dozen. So it's a good size batch.
Absolutely. Well, these look absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, Lori.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more news and weather after this.